Everyone loves talking about quarterbacks here in the offseason. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? Blah, blah, blah. Mark, you wrote a nice piece for NFL.com breaking down some guys you thought were kind of on the bubble, stay or go. So let's talk about some of these guys, and we'll start with the Sizzler.
Yeah, I mean, the one guy that I find interesting is Brock Osweiler because of the timing involved. It's like you got to wait to find out if Peyton Manning's going to stay or go. I think Peyton Manning is out the door. It's just a thing they have to get past at that point. And then you have to work out your negotiation with Brock Osweiler because you're going to tag Von Miller if you can't sign him to a contract. So what do? I think they're going to keep him around, but there is, the whispers that a team like the Browns or another quarterback-needy team could maybe overpay almost for Osweiler and steal him away. I would vote that he stays in Denver.
I think he stays, and I've heard the argument, well, how do they really know what they have in Osweiler? He's only started 5 games. Are you really going to give him a contract, let's say, as good as an Andy Dalton type? I was like, well, they should know. He's been in their building for 4 years. He's practiced on the team. If you can't tell that, what can you tell?
Wes.
You just give him one of those contracts that everybody gets where you don't really pay him. After 2 years, you cut bait, and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the NFL.
The Colin Kaepernick contract.
I think the Eagles situation is interesting. A year ago, 11 months ago, they trade for Sam Bradford. What do we hear at the time? At Oklahoma, he played in the spread. He's perfect for Chip Kelly's spread offense. That's what his game's geared toward. Now they bring in a West Coast quarterback, which is not Sam Bradford's bread and butter. Why not bring in a guy like Chase Daniel, who was with Doug Peterson in Kansas City,
Like it.
one of the most productive backup quarterbacks in the NFL over the last few years? Bring him in at a fraction of the cost, rather than paying Sam Bradford like $20 million a year.
Around the NFL site had this. We had him as a making the leap candidate, Daniel, multiple years ago.
A few years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And you know what? Every time they put him in Kansas City, he looked good.
Here's a stay or go candidate I like to talk about, which is why I'm going to do it right now. Brian Hoyer, Texans quarterback. Of course, he's under contract for next year, so you can put the money on him staying. But this is an unusual situation because Bob McNair, the Texans owner, basically went out and said, we need a better quarterback. Really put a lot of pressure on Bill O'Brien and Rick Smith. So while I think Brian Hoyer will end up staying because he is what he is, which is a good backup, who is going to be that guy? So I think Hoyer stays and they find somebody, but that's not going to be easy with the 22nd overall pick.
No.
He played well last year. I mean, during the regular season.
Oh, but
Well
that was
enough.
one of the worst playoff performances ever in January, which, of course, led to the owner getting all hyped.
He played well last year, yet he got benched for Ryan Mallett twice.
He wishes, Colin Kaepernick wishes that he played as well as Brian Hoyer last year. That's how bad Colin Kaepernick was. He got benched for Blaine Gabbert. They sort of just put him down for the year because of an injury. I assumed Kaepernick was going elsewhere, but Chip Kelly entering the picture makes it really interesting to see if Kaepernick stays or goes. We've heard he might want to go to the Jets. Maybe he wants out. I don't think they want to let him out. I think they put Chip Kelly on that team to make Colin Kaepernick great again.
They have
we
the
can
number
be great
7
again.
pick. I mean, the thing is, if they pick a quarterback at number 7, but Cap's money gets guaranteed on, April 1st?
Make Kaepernick great again. You get hats with the writing on it.
That's Chip Kelly's slogan.
This was the same quarterback who looked like the future of the NFL quarterback position 4 years ago. So don't give up on him. See what Chip can do.
Big biceps.
They're very big. Check out the Around the NFL podcast 3 times a week.